Hello everyone and welcome to the official SWGT YouTube channel. My name is Sarusa. Today we're going to take a look at SWGT Update 5.16.2, which adds game codes homepage tile, monster game mechanics, siege tower summaries, and more. Let's dive in. The first update today takes us onto the homepage, and this will show on all of the guild sites as well as the SWGT public site. And so I have figured out how to get the active codes for the game based on data from SWQ.jp. And so all this data flows in automatically. SWGT does go through and tries to sanitize some of the bad packs that some people are posting. And so I won't tell you how I'm doing it, but I am trying to sanitize it, but I'm not responsible for inaccuracies, of course. But just a nice little way for everybody to get access to the active codes that the game is of course publishing. Next update line takes us over to the monster summoning log, and so over here, I did have somebody say, "Hey, why are my 1 stars showing?" And so I did go through and add in a filter for 1 stars. So essentially, if you have gone through and chosen to only show 5 stars, but if you only had chosen 1 star, some people have runes on some of their 1-star monsters, and so even though you chose 5 stars, the 1 stars were showing because the way that the filters work is that it excludes based on the actual button. So I've gone through and made that fix as well. Another update line today takes us over to, let's do the recent artifacts, for example. And so there was a height issue on some of the browsers. And so somebody had reported on Discord that there was some weird tiling where it would show a line and then it would show 1 artifact over here and then 2 artifacts down here and have a big gap over here. So I have gone through and made some adjustments to the overall heights. So hopefully that issue shouldn't happen anymore. The next update line takes us over to the monster summoning log, and this one was actually a pretty weird one. I had summoned Mirne, and I knew that I had summoned it at 8:08 p.m., and when I took a look at the times in production, it's showing incorrectly. And so come to find out that ComToUs is using a custom date format. For whatever reason, the monster summon date and time, instead of being based on epic time, which is, of course, UTC time format, which is standard across all of their JSON packets. For this one specific packet, they're using Korea local time, which is bizarre. So for me, that's actually UTC +9. And so I have gone through and made a whole bunch of code changes. So all those times will now match up properly based on your settings in your My Profile page. The next update line takes us over to any monster view. So if we take a look at, for instance, Britta, I have gone through and added in a new mechanic called game mechanics. And so on my side, whether you are in monster view for your individuals or you're under monster catalog, if we search for Britta here again, you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, you'll see that there is a block here for game mechanics. Now, these game mechanics are only maintainable by me. If you go to a monster that does not have one, you'll see this message. It says to go ahead and go onto Discord and share your idea. So I will be adding a new channel on Discord specifically for game mechanics. So if you know of a specific game mechanic for a specific monster, let's say Britta or a Stella or a Chilling or El Sharion, any of those monsters that have these weird background mechanics, I am happy to add those notes into the game mechanics section. So I'm just trying to help share the information. You have monsters like Ikaru that have very, very specific tuning. You're looking for certain stats and you're looking for certain sets in order to get your team up skill here up to 3 monsters to attack with. So really nice feature. I had gotten it recommended from Shizo, and I'll be working with him to get a lot of these published out. While we're on the public site still, let's go to My Profile. There was an issue for when you use the plugin to upload your full player JSON. There was an issue on my side that was preventing the full download of your JSON from showing. So now, so long as you have the latest version of SWGT, which is 0.0.62, and so long as you have the latest version of the SWGT personal plugin, when you come to my profile page and you choose on functions, you should be able to get your entire player JSON just as it was out of the game. So if you're on the road and let's say that you need to submit it for a recruitment application, or let's say you wanted to be on the road and mess with swap, it's just a nice functionality for SWGT Personal to be able to download your full player JSON. While I am also here, the last update on SWGT Personal side, I have gone through, and this is not only on the public free accounts, but also on SWGT Personal. I have gone through and added in just a textual description of what the actual views are. So I think some of the people have forgotten that there are 2 different modes. So for instance, I can view all of my monsters in an overall list view with their stats and runes and all of the different filters that go along with it, or I can view it from an actual grid perspective too. So there are 2 different views there, and I just think that by having the actual text there, that should help people have a little bit better clarity on what those functionalities do. Flipping over to the guild side, I have gone through and integrated the new band counters with all of the rest of the functionality for battle logs. And so now when you ban a counter, it will actually highlight it in red. And of course, you can search for banned counters. And so there are your banned counters. So that just makes it a little bit nicer there. I have integrated it into World Guild Battles. I have integrated it into Siege Battles, of course. And I have also integrated it into all of the actual battle logs too. So if we were to come into battle logs and I just choose run, you'll see that the battle log results actually go through and mark as a banned counter as well. So at this point, the band counters are integrated into all of the front ends for your battle logs, for your siege, and for your World Guild Battles. And last but certainly not least, on the guild side, before I get into new functionality, there was a menu under guild members, and it was called Recently Summoned Monsters. And so that would just show for a single player what their monsters were, which was my original menu before I had gone through and added in the entire account analytics menu. So now that we have the account analytics menu and you can go through and pick on the monster summoning log, it's the exact same functionality. There's no sense in having two pages that do exactly the same thing. I have gone through and removed my first menu option from the SWGT menu ever. So kind of a funny little story there. And last but certainly not least, before we wrap up here for today, I have gone through and added in a new functionality under a given siege battle. If you look under a specific battle, I have added a new section under the battle logs tab under the tower summary. And so the table view breaks down all of the towers by the individual guilds, all of the offensive win rates, all of the defensive win rates, as well as the overall totals. So for this tower on offense, here is the overall summaries. For this tower, here are the summaries for all of the actual defenses, and same thing for the overall total. And I do have an actual map view of this too. This was recommended by Kayun in order to have people help visually understand where a lot of the battles are actually happening. So same data as what's there in the list, but this view shows you graphically all of the different towers. So for tower number 9, we had a total of 10 attacks. And of the offensive attacks, 10 out of 10, 100% win rate. And there were, of course, There were a total of 17 defensive battle attacks, and there was a 42% win rate on that one. And so if we come down here, all of the numbers line up here, of course. So just a nice way to look at your win rates and your towers and your summaries as things progress in your siege battle, as well as at the end as well. And that's it for today. I just wanted to say thank you to all the Patreon members who subscribe to SWGT, and to all the people that constantly give feedback about the platform. It's only through your support and efforts that SWGT is what it is today. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We all make SWGT better together. And with that, don't forget to smash those like buttons, and I'll see all of you on the battlefield.